Welcome to day 5 of soul care. We're going to be talking about shifting our energy using 5 steps. Now, this is one of the most important practices that you can do as a nurse to protect your energy. When I used to work on the hospital floor, I was constantly being bombarded by the call bell, family members coming to me, the doctor, and all these interactions essentially are energetic interfaces. And also dealing with patients, right? We're constantly dealing with other people's energy, and we may absorb some of their energy, and we're impacted and affected by our patients' energy, certainly, right? When we come into a room and the patient is sad, then we empathically and being compassionate beings that we end up taking some of that energy. And there really is no ritual that we have to go from patient to patient. And we may have 7 patients in a shift. If you're less acuity, if you're working in long-term care, you may have more patients, or if you're working in the ICU, you may have less patients. However, think about how many energetic interfaces we have, say, in a 12-hour shift. As a case manager, I had a caseload of 60 patients, right? And at any given time, I may have been interfacing with some of those patients during the day. So we're constantly being put into different energetic spaces that we may not necessarily want to be in. And so it's really important that we do these 5 steps to shift our energy and to really be an oasis for ourselves. Also, we want to do this after our shift is over so that when we are, say, interfacing with our family or we're home by ourselves, we can return to our own energy. So these 5 steps are pretty quick and easy, but they're incredibly impactful. And I'll go through the steps and then I'll help you with the exercise at the end. So the 5 steps are: first, to ground. And essentially that means that we are focused, concentrated, and embodied inside of our body. What that means is that we are not in our heads. We are feeling our feet on the floor. We are embracing and in the present moment. And some of those things could just be to physically feel our feet on the floor, to feel our body on a chair. Or maybe I'll sometimes do grounding technique where I'll use my 5 senses to bring myself into present moment awareness. So it's a quick 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 things that I can touch, 4 things that I can hear, 3 things that I can visually see, 2 things that I may smell, and 1, say, sense of taste that maybe I remember or I can taste in my mouth, like if I have coffee. That's a quick way to ground myself into the present moment. The second one is to clear. And the way that you can do this is to choose an element that resonates with you. I had a patient the other day and she was very stressed because her PhD dissertation was the next day. And with all this overwhelming information and knowledge, she felt like she was being pulled in all these different directions. And one of the elements that we've used through our therapeutic relationship is water. So I had her imagine water cascading down her body and washing, cleansing, and also softening all the things that didn't serve her. The third step is connection. And that really means, how do we draw our senses inward and reconnect with ourselves? And often, what that may require is just turning inwards, listening to maybe your breath, and maybe feeling your heartbeat and connecting to yourself, connecting to that energy. The fourth is to protect. And essentially, that means that we create boundaries energetically around us. So that could look like a bubble, that could look like, say, a filter. And essentially, it allows us to imagine that there are things that may energetically filter us. What serves us may come in, what doesn't serve us may not come into that space. And then last is set your intention. If you're about to go on to shift, what is your intention for the day? Often my intention for the day was ease and flow, or allow me to serve these patients as best as I can. So set that intention. Okay. So those are the 5 steps. And now we're going to do a exercise using these 5 steps together. So I invite you to feel your feet on the floor, to feel your body being supported by the chair. I invite you to bring your attention and focus onto your breath. And that with every inhale, your body rises, and with every exhale, your body softens and melts. Allow the exhales to lengthen. Soften whatever you can in your body. And we'll start off by grounding. And grounding means that you are connected and plugged into the earth. I invite you to visualize your feet being supported, grounded. And if this image works for you, I invite you to use it. So imagine that your feet are plugging onto the earth, maybe like roots onto the soil. You can also imagine maybe flowers growing up and around your legs. Whatever allows you to feel that support in your body and also feeling the support in your purpose. That everything has brought you to this moment, that you are exactly where you need to be. And breathe into that feeling of being embodied, grounded, and fully supported. And once you've savored that feeling, I invite you to then choose an element that most resonates with you. And imagine whatever element that it is maybe water washing away from the top of your head all the way down to your feet, washing away what doesn't serve you. Or if the element is wind, blowing, cleaning, cleansing your body, blowing away, clearing that which doesn't serve you. And feeling that newness in your body, that cleansing feeling. Breathing into that. And then I invite you to connect, to turn your senses inward and bringing the focus onto your heart space and connecting to that beautiful, powerful heart of yours. If it serves you, maybe even placing one hand over your heart. Breathe into that space. This is your energy. This is your loving, compassionate heart that you are plugging into and connecting to. And that because it is so precious, that it is important to protect that energy. So I invite you to imagine around you, as big or as small as you'd like, a bubble. And it can be as thick or as thin as you'd like. And that bubble allows things to come in and out. And you can allow what things can come into that sacred space and bubble. And it is only what serves you, it's only what is for your highest good. And so, what serves you and allows into your space is really what's going to contribute to amplify your heart energy. And get grounded into the space that you are creating. That this is your own little oasis that you can always come back to at any time. And you can always create this for yourself at any time. And then I invite you to set your intention. As you move about in the world, in your shift, with your loved ones, or whatever the new present moment that is coming forwards, what intention would you like to set? How would you like to show up? And breathe into that intention, trusting that that intention will be made manifest. And then when you're ready, I invite you to reflect. What did you notice as you use these 5 steps to shift your energy? Was there a step that resonated with you the most? I hope that this was helpful, and I thank you for participating in today's exercise. Tomorrow, we're going to continue working on our energy, and we're going to be using our breath to circulate our energy.